Full name, speak up.
Natalie Sue Gann.
Natalie Sue Gann. Where do you live?
I'm not...
Vagrant. Where are your folks?
I'm not sure, but I'm looking for my...
Orphan.
I'm not an orphan.
Put another one.
I'm no orphan.
Sure, kid, sure.
Her name was Natty Gann.
She wouldn't just run away like that. What the hell happened back there, Connie?
She went searching for her father.
I'm calling my dad a commie.
Yeah, you want to make some out of it?
Yeah.
Well, come on, try it.
She found her freedom.
That's a nice dog.
He's a wolf.
Oh, yeah?
On an extraordinary journey.
Come on!
He ain't gonna make it. He's never gonna make it. He made it.
That became an incredible adventure.
I found my kid's wallet buried under a train in Colorado.
Better wise up if you expect to make it, kid.
Well, I'll do all right, Mr. Know-It-All.
An adventure that made the impossible come true.
Dear Natty, leaving was the hardest thing I've ever done. I hope you can forgive me. I love you. Come right away, Dad.
It's the right train, the right speed. Perfect.
The Journey of Natty Gann. An adventure that made the impossible come true.
The strains of riding to find a place to graze. For I'm a tired kind sitting home with you to rest, and we'll keep a building in the west. Addie?
Growing with Arizona, that's the only thing to do. Gonna grow up straight, gonna find a mate, and build up a ranch right next to you.
Women in Arizona wonder why they ever came. Looking at the range, praying for a change, and knowing it will always be the same.
Tombstone, just let me hear some to spend my day. Gonna get a date, feeling inside straight, and drink up the rest of 6 months' pay.
Willie, where did you ever learn a thing like that?
Boys in the bunkhouse taught me. I know lots more.
I'll never mind the rest.
John, I think you better have a talk with the boys in the bunkhouse.
Yeah, I guess I better. First thing tomorrow. Hey, Vi, why don't you play the organ?
All right.
We can sing better with the guitar.
No, play something by Stephen Foster.
But they're too old, Papa.
Well, when I was a boy, we couldn't wait till he wrote a new one.
Bet that was a long time ago.
Well, it wasn't that long ago. What's the matter? Boy, it can't be broken. We just got it last month.
Pedals don't seem to work.
Let me see.
Well, there isn't going to be any music. I might as well go to bed.
Willie,
You call me, Papa?
do you see anybody else in the room named Willie?
Guess not.
Come here. Can you explain this?
It's a foot pedal.
I know what it is. Well,
Coming to bed, Eddie?
Willie, I'm going to ask you just once more, and I want an honest answer. Now, come here. Now, what happened?
This afternoon I was trying to play it. I guess I tried to play it a little too hard.
Now, keep talking.
I didn't do it on purpose, to be mean or anything.
Well, young man, you're not to touch that organ again, you hear me?
Yes, Papa.
All right. And go to bed. You too.
Night.
I'll have Bat fix it tomorrow.
And that's all?
Or what?
John, both children were told this is not a toy, but they weren't allowed to play it unless one of us was in the room.
I know that.
So did Willie.
Well, honey, Willie apologized. He said he was sorry.
He said he was sorry when he broke the butter churn, too.
I let him off too easy.
Well, what do you think?
I think you're right. I think Willie needs a good talking to, and that's exactly what he's going to get. First thing tomorrow morning.
What's wrong with tonight while it's still fresh in his mind?
You mean now?
Yes, now.
There's somebody at the door. Hey, I thought you were out with the herd.
Wes figured I was the only one he could spare.
Spare for what?
We had the cattle bedded down. About a half a dozen Apaches hit the herd.
Anybody hurt?
Just a few of the cattle.
Better go take a look.
John,
It won't take me long. Is your horse in good shape?
Sure, but while we're out
You better give Ashley something to eat.
Oh, surely tomorrow morning will be time enough.
Honey,
to
this
take
is
care of it.
important.
What about that?
Oh, that? Well, first chance I get.
Trying to interrupt something?
It's a problem with the children.
Can I help?
No, Ashley, this is something their father has to handle. And I'm going to see to it that he does this the way he does everything else. Alone. Fix you some coffee.
Where's Red and Paul?
Far side of the herd, keeping them quiet. Boy, tell you what happened?
Not only that we lost a few head.
Those two and 3 more are about a half a mile from here.
What happened, Wes?
Better send a wagon out. No sense leaving good beef for the buzzards.
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
These Apaches were riding past the far side of the herd, riding like they were headed back home. Suddenly, they wheeled their horses and hit the herd, and for no reason, shot down 5 head.
Well, there must have been some reason.
We snapped off a couple of shots, never had a chance to hit them.
You 3 be all right out here tonight?
Yeah, they won't come back.
I'll talk with Natchez in the morning.
No reason. Just shot them down for no reason at all.
Well, by tomorrow, they better have a darn good reason. Stable him for me, will you, Bat?
Right, sir.
Is everything all right?
Oh, I'll straighten it out in the morning with Natchez.
Try not to stay awake all night thinking about it.
No, I won't.
It's late. Come on, let's go to bed.
Yeah. No. Nope. First, I'm gonna straighten out those 2 kids.
No?
Well, Viola, you don't think I left just to get out of it, do you?
Of course not.
Those kids have got to learn while it's still fresh in their minds.
John, they're sleeping.
Well,
I'll just wake them up.
You'll be so sleepy they won't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
I'm sure you didn't.
Tomorrow for sure. I will.
That's right. You'll have all morning to practice in.
Practice?
Mm-hmm. On the chief of the Apache Nation.
Natchez.
Who commands, Natchez?
Me, Slaughter.
You do not talk like my friend John Slaughter.
You keep talking so's I can find you.
I am here, right before you.
Natchez, you and I made a deal. We even shook hands on it.
A stronger bond than the paper your government gives me for my land.
Well, it wasn't strong enough. Yesterday, some of your braves hit my herd.
Are you sure they were Apaches?
Would I be laying the blame at your door if I wasn't sure?
Others might, but not you.
They didn't attack any of my men. They didn't even want the meat. They just shot down 5 head and rode off.
Can you tell me who was responsible?
No. It was dark and my boys couldn't see their faces. But I want to tell you this. If it happens again, I'm going to bring them back in pieces. What are you laughing at?
You came thundering in, John Slaughter, red in the face. My hospitality seems to have made you the same color all over.
All right, Natchez. You give me one good reason why they did what they did, and I'll forget about the whole thing.
Now you talk like my friend. All of Arizona was ours, John. Now we are corralled in a corner of it. My braves get restless. I will see that you are paid for your loss.
Never mind the money. You just tell them if they want to let off steam, they can spend an hour in here.
I'll tell them more than that.
Whew. How do you stand it in here?
An Apache can endure most anything.
Natchez, you and I have had many long talks about the past, and we both accept what is to come.
But there are others on both sides who don't.
Well, I'll handle my side, but you've got to do the same.
What happened yesterday won't happen tomorrow.
I have your word on that?
You have it.
Thank you.
I want Geronimo.
I was told you asked to see me.
I did not ask, I commanded.
I'm here.
Because of you, I was forced to tell a half-truth to a friend.
No white man can be our friend.
John Slaughter lives beside the Apache in peace.
Only until he has strengthened himself so he can take more of our land.
I have his word.
The white man's word. Santana believed it, and it cost us the river. Mangus Colorado believed it, and we lost the prairie. Your father, Cochise, believed it, and now there's very little left to take.
Geronimo, as chiefs, they did what they thought was best for the Apache.
But they have been proven wrong, and we can't wait for the same thing to happen to you. Time is running out, Natchez. Every day we delay makes us that much weaker. We must strike while we still have the nation behind us.
You are trying to bring back the dead world. Only by putting down our weapons can we keep what is left.
How long are you going to believe that? We gave up a land it took 30 moons to ride across. What will they take when we have nothing left to give?
We are as one man against a herd of bison. Only by moving with them can we live.
I believe it is better to die like a man than to be corralled like an animal.
And I say there will be no war. My word is law.
You are the chief, Natchez.
No Apache shall raid the land of John Slaughter. Remember that.
I will, Natchez. You are the chief. As long as the men follow you.
make sure that gate is shut tight, fellas.
Think that wild stallion will come for his herd?
Unless you want to chase him again, you better hope not. That bad unsaddle a horse. You better look to that right shoe.
Yes, sir. Don't let him get away from you, Willie.
Rope
Push
him, Willie.
him down. That's the stuff, Willie. You've got him. Well, stop him, Willie. Don't let him get ahead of you. Oh, that front leg. Stop him. Up in front, Willie. That
Get a
front
hold
leg.
Grab his legs.
That's
That's
the way.
it.
That's the
That's
way.
it.
Now
Now
you've got
pull.
him, Willie. Now
Pull.
turn him.
Hang right on there.
Twist him.
Put your hands
You've got him. Twist him.
Hold still, you.
Set on him, Willie. Get him down, Willie. Set on him.
Hang on to him, Willie, before he ties you.
I've seen you get thrown a lot of times, too.
Ain't it the truth?
Hold still, you.
Get him down, Willie.
Stop.
Sit on him.
Willie? Stop. Hold still.
Young man, how many times do I have to call you to supper?
Just as soon as I teach this calf a lesson.
Well, when you're finished, you do as your ma says, you hear?
Uh-huh.
I try not to get angry, John. I really try very hard.
What's the matter, honey?
Well, I tell him to come to supper, and he doesn't come, and I tell him to pick up his clothes, and he leaves them all over the floor. And Addie, well, I'll just let her tell you what she did.
Honey, when I was courting you, one word and they just jumped to do what you wanted.
That was before we were married. They were trying to win me and test you. Well, they won on both counts. They got me in the house and you in their hip pocket.
Boy, they're just kids. They don't think that far ahead.
Oh, they're way ahead of both of us.
Well, you just got to have a little patience, but you've also got to use a little authority.
Not me, John, you. I've got my own problems.
I thought we settled all that.
Well, you and I talked about it, but the children and I still have to settle it.
Well, I'll get them to obey you.
Oh, no. I'm their stepmother. Just to obey isn't enough. They have to want to obey me because they love me.
Honey, that'll come. It's just going to take a little time, that's all.
I'm willing to wait, but you're just making it take longer by always siding with them.
Well, I just figured it was better for me to kind of set the fence.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you old fence sitter, when you feel the splinters, don't come crying to me.
Hold still, you.
Get after him. Attaboy.
Get that pegging string out in a hurry, Willie. Get those two front legs.
I finally got him.
You sure did.
I threw him.
Good. Did you wash your hands?
Both sides.
Fine. Now go try it with some water.
Have a good day, Papa.
Oh, you can call rounding up wild horses a good day. Son, there's nothing in the world hates a man like a wild horse.
Ain't it the truth?
Addie, honey, you sitting on the edge of that chair like there was a nail in it.
I am?
Mm-hmm. I've seen happier men going to a hanging. What's the matter?
Nothing. Everything's just fine.
Fine, I'm too tired to try to drag it out of her. What's bothering her?
Are you going to tell him, or am I? Well?
Well, somebody better tell me, and quick. Oh, isn't that the silk I bought you from Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were going to make a dress out of that.
Till Addie decided her dolls needed clothes more than I do.
Tattletale.
And that, young lady, is just a small dose of what you're going to get. You talk like that again.
But she snitched.
What do you mean, snitched? What am I, some kind of sheriff around here, a policeman?
She yells at us.
Because you got it coming.
No matter what we do, you go and tell them.
Young lady, I want to hear an apology right now.
No.
Right now.
I'm sorry. There.
Do it again. And this time like you mean it.
I'm sorry I cut up your silk. And I'm sorry I talked like I did.
All right. Now go to bed.
Just wait until we get bigger than you.
You, in your room, no supper.
I'm not hungry, so there.
Just wait till we get bigger than you.
Come on, get out of here. He was so mad I thought he was going to buzz.
They'll hear us. If you punish him and laugh, it's the worst thing you can do, John.
Wait till I get bigger than you are, he says.
John.
Huh? Good evening there, Sergeant.
Mr. Slaughter? Ma'am.
You're welcome to supper with us, Sergeant.
I thank you, ma'am, but I have 2 more stops to make. General Crook sends his compliments, sir.
Tell him thank you.
We understand you're having a little trouble with the Indians.
Nothing that I can't handle.
If there are any more incidents in the future, we'd appreciate you notifying the fort.
Well, what for?
Orders from Washington, sir. In the future, the ranchers will not deal with the Apaches except for trade.
My compliments to General Crook. You tell him I appreciate his interest, but this is my spread, and it's my job to protect it.
I'll tell him, sir.
You weren't very gentle with him.
I don't like people telling me what to do.
It's not so much telling you, John, it's offering help.
Viola, have you got any idea how many men they got over at the fort?
No.
About 200, that's all. 200 men to cover that many thousands of miles of territory.
Is that any reason to refuse help?
Probably not. But I don't want to see any more Apaches wearing dead sergeant stripes.
Pour me some more coffee, will you?
Mm-hmm.
The wild horses are gone. Huh?
How did the stallion ever get the gate open?
I can't understand why we didn't hear them.
Well, I sure didn't care whether we knew who did it.
Who?
There's a moccasin tracks.
Apache moccasin, ma'am.
And if I followed them, I bet they'd lead me straight to Geronimo's tent. I'll bet on it.
You can't be sure, John.
Well, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. Bat saddle my horse.
Right.
John, last night the sergeant said that...
I know what the sergeant said.
But you won't pay any attention. No, you have to go thundering off into the middle of the Apache village.
Honey, this is my ranch, and those were my horses, and I'm going to get them back my way.
He always has to do everything his way.
That's what got him this far, Viola.
That's fine, Ashley. But one of these days he's going to get so far that even his way won't get him back.
What are you doing here?
I thought I'd come along to learn.
And they're dipping cattle back at the ranch. Why don't you go learn that?
You told me that Arizona was going to have an Indian problem for a long time. Now, if I'm going to run a spread of my own, I have to find out how to live with them.
Ashley, I got a lot of things on my mind. I haven't got time to be a teacher today.
Oh, I won't be in the way.
That's very thoughtful of you, but I would appreciate it if you'd go on back home.
Now, the way I'd handle it, I'd ride right up to this Geronimo, and I'd pull a gun on him, and I'd make him look right down
Ashley, weren't you talking with Viola when I rode out?
Let me think. Yes, I guess I was.
Uh-huh. Did Viola send you along to be nursemaid to me?
John, would she do a thing like that?
But she does think I need help.
I can honestly say that she doesn't.
Then why did she send you along?
To help Geronimo.
Since a white man took our land, wild horses are hard to find.
You sure didn't have any trouble finding those horses.
For 3 days and 4 nights, I tracked
You
them.
stole those horses out of my corral.
They're not branded. They belong
They
to the
would have
man
been
who
branded
catches-
this morning if you hadn't stolen them.
That's the second time you call me a thief.
I'm gonna call you a thief just once more, Geronimo, and then I'm gonna take you apart.
John, could I talk to you for a second?
Later.
If you turn around, I think you'll see that wasn't such a smart thing to do.
What's the matter, Geronimo? Can't you take care of yourself?
I'm gonna try to kill you myself. But if I can't, I'll still see you dead.
Geronimo! You! If I see any of you again before sundown, I'll have the women whip you. Go! You entered the village as though I were dead, John Slaughter. Why?
My business is with Geronimo.
This is not a tribal affair. It is personal.
I will tell you when it is not a tribe affair.
He stole some horses from me, and before I take them back, I'm gonna teach him never to do it again.
This man accused me of being a thief. I must kill him for that.
Where are the horses? We are friends, John Slaughter, but they are not yours.
Thief! Your eyes are old. They lie to you.
Do they lie about white man's hay? Don't let my eyes see you again for the turn of one moon, Geronimo. Or if I do, no Apache will ever again call you brother. Take your horses.
Ashley? This is my friend, Ashley Carstairs.
You ride with him like a blood brother.
I don't really ride with him, but I do try to follow.
Then you are welcome in our village.
Get the horses, boy. Calling Geronimo down in front of a white man ain't gonna make him any friendlier.
Geronimo is your enemy, as he is and always will be the enemy of every white man.
He didn't want those horses. He didn't even need them. He just took them to cause more trouble.
Hatred was his father. Trouble, his mother. He will never change.
What happened between Geronimo and me, I was willing to keep between us. But if it happens again, I won't be able to.
Why not?
Because General Crook has got reinforcements. And if the treaty gets broken, the Army's gonna mend it the only way they know how. By force.
Then there will be more bloodshed. And also a few of us left to bleed.
Natchez, if war does come, you can believe me, I won't be the one to start it.
Nor will I. But that won't satisfy the dead. For they are not interested in who started it. Once it is over for them.
You just follow that line right along there.
Thank you. Papa, you asleep? How come you're talking if you're sleeping?
Talking in my sleep.
John, I'm proud of you.
For talking in my sleep?
For the way you handled Geronimo. For not forcing a fight.
Willie, one thing you better do young is learn about women.
What about women?
They have a funny little habit of starting in the middle of a conversation that they started 3 days ago, like it was 3 minutes ago.
No, I don't do that.
Oh, of course not, dear. But with the Indians and the Army and the running of the ranch, I don't get much rest.
Yes, dear.
Now, tonight was one of those nights that I just promised myself I was just going to sit here. And I wasn't going to get up except to lay down.
You always keep your promises, don't you, dear?
Yes, I do.
Glad to hear you say that.
I think I just set a trap and caught myself.
Of course, if you're tired, a promise to a wife, that's really not very important.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, it's perfectly all right with me. You could do it now or 10 years from now.
She start in the middle of that time?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what she means?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess I'll never get married.
All right, Bart. I gave you my word, and I'm going to keep it. Hattie? Come on. Willie?
How could I have done anything? I was reading. Honest, Papa, we didn't do
I
anything.
didn't say you did anything. I got a job for you.
Not a job. Make it sound pleasant.
You got to learn to dance.
Dance?
You heard me, and you better enjoy it.
I didn't do anything. Why should I be punished? It's not a punishment. Dancing's fun. For girls. I seen men dance. Ever see Jimmy Cole dance? Well, he's not a man. He's a cowboy. I want to be one, too.
Willie, I want to talk to you. You got to learn how to dance.
But dancing's for sissies.
It'll make Viola happy.
It'll make me miserable.
You want to go on a picnic tomorrow? Yes or no?
Sure, but...
Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right. Just have to kind of explain things to him, that's all. Smile for Viola.
John, don't just stand there. Teach them. What's wrong? You mean... Here. Now do exactly as I do. La da dum da 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 dum. La da dum dee dum dee da da da. La da dum da 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 dum. La da dum.
I wish you were bigger than me.
Come on. La da dum da 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 dum. La da dum dee dum dee da da da. La da dum la da dum la da dum. Did you remember to take the bread?
And the lemonade.
Good.
We beat the big oak tree, Bat.
Right, sir.
Come on, Willie.
Only you don't know where we are, understand?
Yes, sir.
Unless it's important.
John, you promised.
Let's go, Papa.
Hey, Willie, come on.
A whole day with the family, you said.
All right, fine. You don't know where we are.
Yes.
Willie! Willie, I want you to be careful. That's a lot of animal under you.
Ain't it the truth?
Let's see. We'll spread the blanket over there.
Can I help you down?
I can get up.
One of these days, I'm going to show you an easier way to do that. Willie?
Uh-huh.
You go get some firewood.
John, in this heat?
It's not going to be a picnic unless you can roast potatoes.
You're right.
Someone's coming, Pa.
He looks hurt.
Well, that's Ashley.
Bat told me where to find you.
What'd you do? What happened?
Indian bullet.
Huh? Come on, I'll get you in the buggy. Ooh, boy. Easy, boy. The bullet's still in there?
No, I went clean through.
I'll get a bandage.
How about the other boys? They all right?
They're all right.
That'll wait till later, John.
Geronimo and a dozen braves hit us about dawn. Dragged a buffalo hide in front of the herd and spooked them over half of Arizona.
Viola, you get them back to the house and take care of them. And if there are any of the boys still around, tell them to meet me at the South Springs.
Picnic over, Papa?
I'm sorry, son, but this is important. Addie, you ride Ashley's horse.
Willie, get our picnic basket and blanket.
Forget that, Willie. You get the kids in the house and keep them there.
All right, John.
Come on, boy. Now, you be careful.
Okay, Papa.
Here you are.
What's up, John?
Trouble. Come on with me.
Come on, follow us!
You all right?
Ashley tell you what happened?
Yeah.
There wasn't much we could do.
Now, forget it, Wes. It's my fault for not having more men here. In fact, did Viola and the kids get home all right?
We passed them on the way.
Good. Joe, Les, Paul, you know which way the cattle headed?
Main herd ran west. Few traveled south. Jerry and Yuki are keeping them in sight.
You three head on out there. Give them a hand. You got any idea which way Geronimo headed?
They chased us for a while and then took off east.
You stay here and keep an eye peeled. We'll try to track down Geronimo.
Separated here.
How many do you figure?
I read about 6 went straight on. Rest cut off.
I'll take Ben, Sam, and Harry. You take the rest of the boys.
You better move. If he gets to Mexico, it'll take a year to smoke him out.
Now, don't you follow too close. You run right up his back. Hold up a minute, boys. Hold him. Don't shoot, Bat.
Miss Slaughter?
Well, what'd you read?
Trail took a wide curve.
So'd mine.
Riders kept falling out. Only 2 left.
I ended up following just one rider, and his trail ended right there.
I don't like it, Mr. Slaughter. That Indian is good at covering tracks as we are uncovering it.
Yep.
You thinking the same thing?
Yep. And if we're right, we better move fast. Let's go.
the door?
Somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour.
Geronimo give you his plans?
Take about that long for the sun to get behind him and right in our eyes.
Can we hold him off?
You bet we can. They'll never get through that door.
Children, get back under that table. Please get back under the table.
But we want to help. I can shoot. Pop taught me how. Papa wouldn't like it if we were hiding when we should be helping.
If anything happened to you, neither of us will have it tomorrow.
If you don't get back to that window, you won't have the rest of today. Now you get under that table. Stay there.
You got enough ammunition?
Run it.
Just calm down there, son. I'll be owing you for the rest of my life.
Honest, John, it wasn't as bad as that. The kids didn't get scared and all fought like Davy Crockett.
You're making me almost feel sorry for those Indians.
They'd have got tired or quit when it got dark. Wasn't that much to worry about.
Easy as that, huh?
Could have been worse.
Yeah. Could have been a lot worse if you'd had to use these.
Detail, halt. Dismount.
There were other ways you could tell me. So I didn't give these people a decent burial.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry? Be sorry for them, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
I'm Senator Calum. This is Senator Perkins, co-chairman, Military Appropriations Committee.
I know who you are.
You'd never know it from the way you kept us waiting, right, Perkins?
Get on with it, Calum.
General, Washington is mighty disappointed in your performance.
Oh? In what way?
You know very well in what way.
Games. Came 2,000 miles to play games. Get on with it, Calum.
Did you see that stagecoach, General Miles? Those people were murdered by Geronimo.
We might have been on that stage ourselves, General.
Do you know how many others he and his Apaches have killed?
Yes.
What kind of an answer is that?
You asked me if I knew the total number of deaths that is attributed to Geronimo. And I said I did.
Then do you also know that you have 5,000 troops spread over this territory and haven't been able to catch him? Do you know how much money that costs? Do you know that this territory will never be settled until he's caught? And that Washington wants him caught and wants him caught now?
No more than I do, Senator.
Then what are you doing about it?
The best I can.
I'd like to remind you, General, Washington is not satisfied with your best. Are you coming, Perkins?
5,000 troops to catch one Indian. Shameful.
General, the senators don't understand the situation. Why didn't you explain it to them?
Lieutenant, you're rather young, but I think it's time you became a realist. We are fighting two wars.
Sir?
The Indians and Washington. And we're losing them both.
Oh, we're having a little trouble, sir, but...
Since I am a realist, I say that when a man's in trouble, he goes and finds a friend. I just hope mine is home.
More coffee, General?
Thank you, Val.
Billy, for the last time, will you give the general back his hat and go to bed?
Ah, gee. Do what your father says, Willie.
You better be right behind him.
But I'm older.
And I'm bigger. So do as I say.
Come along, Chili.
You're supposed to kiss girls, not soldiers.
Oh, yes, so I am.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, sweetheart.
Can't we stay up just a little longer, please?
No. Willie?
But we wouldn't listen.
So do I, Willie. But I'm afraid I'm not going to like what I hear.
Viola, you never guess what the general wants me to do.
I think I can, John.
I need him, Viola. But unless you agree, he won't be much help.
I don't know, General. I got the ranch to run, stock to buy, fences. I don't know.
I need a whole man.
So do I, General. But I'm not sure I'll have one if he says no because I want him to.
Well, now, this is a decision that needs thought. I want to sleep on it, huh?
John, you made your decision the moment that the general said Geronimo and your eyes lit up.
Thank you. I'm camping near Tombstone. Well, as any soldier will tell you, once you get a good man beside you, you'll end up sharing him with someone else who also needs him.
Looks like I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
I'll be waiting for you, John.
Well, I'm just going to track him, you know.
I know. But there's so...
Daddy's gonna catch
I'm only going to track him, son, that's all. Besides, I have the whole army behind me.
I'd feel a lot better if you had them in front of you.
Will I be the man around the house?
Starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow for lunch, we're gonna have candy.
Yes, sir. And for dessert, castor oil.
Willie, you've just learned a very important lesson. To get what you want, you gotta pay for it. Now get it.
I'll worry.
How about what? I probably won't get within 10 miles of an Apache. Slaughter, to see General Miles.
Hello, John.
General?
Like you an hour ago.
Well, I thought it'd be nice to have breakfast with my family.
Come on. I've got everything ready. Now, John, this will show you why you're my last hope.
I wish I were sure of catching Geronimo as you were catching me.
Every Apache raid for the past 3 months.
You get a list of how many killed?
Soldiers on one side, civilians on the other.
What's been stolen?
Oh, supplies, clothes, guns.
Any cattle?
A couple ahead, but we found them slaughtered.
What'd you find in those coal camps?
Nothing that counted except the bodies of 3 of my men.
Where's the last place he hit?
Right here.
Before that? No. When did he hit this part of the territory?
About 3 weeks ago. I've only got about 100 men a day's ride from here, but you're welcome to them.
No, thanks.
You need more?
I'll take what I need.
What do you plan to do?
Take some scouts, see if I can go find them.
Orderly! Assemble the scouts.
Yes, sir.
What do you want me to do?
Be there when I need you.
Well, John, you looking for anybody in particular?
Yeah, you got a Ben Jenkins?
Get Corporal Jenkins.
Jenkins! Corporal Jenkins! Front and center, on the double. Jenkins!
I'm coming. Simmer down. John! Doggone, it's good to see you.
How are you, Ben? I haven't seen you since the Rangers.
John, how's the family?
Just fine, couldn't be better.
At ease.
Very military, Ben, very military. How'd you get those?
Well, it was his first time in the field, and, bravery.
That figures.
Well, what the general means is, sir, is that I didn't exactly get these from knowing the book.
Well, that figures, too. You, want to see a little action, Ben?
You bet. John, you can't believe what we've been through. For 3 months, we've been chasing our own...
We travel light, Ben. Leave half an hour.
And the finest Apache scouts in the territory.
Say, which ones do the best work?
Fellow right here is the best. We've always come closest to capturing Geronimo when he was doing our tracking.
Hello, Chino. Last time we met, you said you'd never forget. You'll always get close with him, but you'll never get close enough.
What do you mean, John?
He's with Geronimo. How is your half-brother, Chino? You want him as a scout?
No. Sergeant Major. Pay this man off and send him on his way.
Hello, Nakoma.
You have a long memory, John Slaughter.
And how long is your memory?
My child played with yours.
You get 4 men, get them mounted up. We're going to meet Geronimo. Tacoma. Where do they go, Tacoma?
Like all the others. To meet the rest of nation. They move like this. The dry river, the canyon country, the hills. They make camp here.
Well, that makes sense. How soon will they come?
The centuries when the sun is high, the camp when it is dying.
Ben, you're a soldier. You tell me where he is.
I don't know.
Should have been here yesterday. Should have been in position before Geronimo even got close.
Ain't gonna do any good tearing into me about it.
3 weeks on the trail. 3 weeks to get him in a pocket, and the army doesn't show.
Yeah, it does make you feel kind of lonesome, doesn't it?
Ben, think like a soldier. Think like a general. Tell me what he expects us to do.
Maybe he figures the 2 of us can take on the whole Apache nation by ourselves.
Right now, him and his whole army couldn't take him.
Well, then the only thing for us to do is to play the regular army game. Sit and wait.
Geronimo's got a different kind of army, and he ain't gonna sit around and wait. Tortero! What happened? Where is he?
Still in Tombstone Camp.
He what?
General say you in Mexico.
Well, I know where I am. I want to know why he isn't here.
General say you come back.
But why?
Que no sabe.
I'll start now. You follow in an hour. Where are you going? Bring the general a little present from Mexico. Apache. On your feet. Move! If you're not on your feet in 3 seconds...
Stay out of it!
Now ask him anything you want. He'll talk.
Will Geronimo stay in Mexico?
He will return with the green grass.
In peace?
There never will be peace with Geronimo and the white man.
Does he know that when he returns, we will hunt him down?
You'll never find him. All you'd find is the bodies of your brothers.
Ask him how many braves.
300. With 1,000 waiting for his return.
There are not that many Apaches.
One word from Geronimo. The Sioux, the Comanche. All become Apache.
Any more questions, General?
No. Lock him up. John, I appreciate all you've done. But I've just got to figure this problem out myself.
Nice.
They'll be in general issue soon. I have 400 in a storehouse in Tombstone.
Geronimo give half his braves to get his hands on those. I've seen what he's using. Breech loaders, pistols. With 400 of these, he could own Arizona.
Yeah. That, John, is a nightmare I have constantly.
Might not be a bad idea if we made it easy for him to get his hands on these. Look. You move these guns from here to here, and Geronimo knows it. You move a dozen men to there, and he doesn't know it. And you're ready to move in here with another dozen men, and he doesn't know that either. I think we'd stand a good chance of closing the trap.
But, John, you've got me with a few dozen men against a few hundred Apaches. That's plain suicide.
No, General, if you send out a small wagon train, Geronimo will come in with 25, 50 braves. Just enough to hit and run. He wants those guns.
I could raise 500 to 1,000 men in 24 hours. 2,000 if I needed them.
You move that many men and Geronimo won't get out of bed, let alone out of Mexico.
All right. I'll keep my force to a minimum.
Just to put a little frosting on the cake, I'll write point for that undermanned wagon train.
Yeah. I know he'd like to get a crack at you. But, John, you really believe that Geronimo will think I'm stupid enough to move that many rifles with such a small guard?
I'm sure he will.
Oh, I don't know.
I do. I've heard him say that one day he'd have General Tonto for his personal servant.
General Tonto?
That's the Apache word for fool.
Probably the best way.
The only way. The army the winter to get set, and with those guns, nothing can outfight them.
Geronimo's going to have quite a surprise coming.
Yeah, I would say he was.
You mind if I tell the rest of the men how to set their minds at ease?
You send him on home. Geronimo's going to find out the army's not as stupid as he thinks.
Appreciate all you've done.
Forget it.
can see through the wagons. We're in good shape.
You fellas just keep sitting around, pretend you don't know they're up there. I'll pass the word along.
Nobody fires from inside till Slaughter gives the word.
Now, don't all die at once. And make it believable. Better scatter out now. Take cover! Let him get closer! Don't all hit the dirt at once! Ben, you all right? You died beautifully. Fellas. They'll hit us from there this time, only harder. Now we'll all go on the first volley. This next charge will be your turn, boys. thought somebody else was invited to this party.
Yeah, friend General was supposed to be here 5 minutes ago.
Right now, I wish I was back in the Texas Rangers. General? Geronimo.
Lieutenant?
I'm not going to bed until you tell me.
Some other time.
Nope.
You better tell them, John. They'll be up all night.
Well, I hid behind some rocks and the general rode up and captured Geronimo.
Well, now, when I tell fibs, tell us what really happened, Daddy.
Well, let's see. There was about 2,000 Apaches, and I rode up single-handed, and I rode over and I got right to the middle, and guess who was there?
Geronimo.
Right.
And you pulled out your gun?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. I just stared at him, and he stared back, And I stared, he stared, and then I said, boo! And he began to shake all over.
Aw, Daddy.
And then I turned him over my knee and I spanked him just like I'm going to do to you if you don't go to bed.
Night, Pop!
Good night, General. I sure could use another piece of that pie, Viola.
What really happened?
It was like I told the kids.
John Slaughter, I want the truth.
Well, the truth is, Geronimo was on his way back to the reservation. Some men died.
Will he stay there?
The best you ever made.
Will he, John?
Sure he will, if they guard him close enough.
What if he breaks out? Will he come back here?
Well, last thing Geronimo said was he wanted to be buried in Arizona. So if he comes back, I think the least we can do is accommodate him.
No.
Come on, sweetheart, let's get some sleep. It's been a long day.
John, as long as that man's alive, I won't be able to sleep.
Then you're going to get awfully tired. Well, his daddy lived to be 92.